Right, boys, here we go again. It's your boy, Reaction Police, straight out of Milton Keynes. And I just thought I should just spend about maximum 5 minutes catching up with you guys on our last match against Tottenham. I think we've all vented out our anger against the team and all, and I think it's time for us to move on now. I just happened to have gone through social media and I found out that so bad was the pressure that Dejan Lovren was on that he actually kind of blocked his social media such that he couldn't make any comments. He removed his profile. He kind of removed that little bit about him being um, what's that noise, man? About him being a Liverpool player and all that stuff. And I just kind of sat down and thought about it. And I thought, you know what? I think it's time we got off his back, man. Let's get off Lovren's back. Because the truth is, I understand the anger, I understand the frustration, but it's time for us to put things in perspective. Now, I'm not trying to play devil's advocate here, um, but I've done some review, you know, try to kind of look into why suddenly Lovren is playing so poorly. I mean, he wasn't this bad 2 seasons ago, where he scored that fantastic goal against Borussia Dortmund. Generally, his gameplay was around 6-7, and then it kind of maintained that throughout last season, but this season is just taking a dip, and I kind of looked through and I thought, is the problem Matip? But Matip himself is a very good defender, and they kind of they seem to understand each other, So the problem can't be Matip. So I just kind of had to look around for what the problem could be, and the thing I found from information around is apparently, that Lovren is actually mentally stressed. I mean, first of all, we know that he had a problem with his family. I think there was an issue with his wife and having affairs and all that. That alone is enough to stress a human being. There was an issue about his wife also being kidnapped, and there was a demand for some ridiculous amount of money for ransom, and that basically just ruined his vacation. So while all the other players were getting required rest, this guy was stressed. You know, um, Apparently, I also heard that he was robbed during his vacation. They robbed him of jewelry, money, and stuff like that. And it had to be going from the police station, giving statements to worrying about his wife. I think all around that. On top of that, he's had his serious back injury this season, which has actually stopped him from training, so he doesn't train as hard as before. Of course, that will affect his game, you know. Um, so when you consider that, and you look at the fact that he's not training, he's taking injections, but he's always been asked to start the game, and then when he's playing, the other thing is, I kind of appreciate that we all keep saying, you know what, Moreno has had a great season so far because he's been very offensive. That's always been Moreno. He's always been offensive. But what we always seem to forget is when he runs forward, nobody kind of covers for him. He's very, very instinctively runs forward. The difference between him and Milner is Milner times his moves. So sometimes when Milner realizes that the pressure is on the team, he stays back. Moreno is always bombing forward. And that's what we see, and we're saying he's playing very well. The problem is, when he bombs forward, we are now left with Dejan, who's got to then cover both centre back and wing back. And remember, this is a guy that's got back problems, who definitely cannot run, who's got to be very careful how he jumps. So when you kind of add all this together, this is someone that is not training. He's going through mental stress. He's got back problems. He's covering for another player. What else do we expect? What else do we expect? And that leads to basically where we point the finger. And let us call a spade a spade. We've got to ask the manager what's going on. I know that an unfit Lovren, according to the manager, might be better than a fit Gomez. Is that what he's trying to say? If that's the case, well then we have a big problem with regards to our defenders. Then he shouldn't have gone to the journalist and told the journalist that outside of his defenders, it would be very difficult to find any other defender that is better than his current set. He shouldn't say that, because obviously, if an unfit Dejan Lovren is better than Gomez and better than Klavan, then we have a problem. And that begs again the question as to why he let Sako go. Why are you playing a player that is injured, forcing him to play? And the thing about Lovren again is he's still giving 100%. I appreciate that his 100% is not quite good, but he's giving 100%. This guy is still, if he's able to, he's still making blocks. He's still jumping up and down. I appreciate that he's not as good as he was before, and I appreciate that he's made some silly mistakes. But what else do you expect, gentlemen and ladies? If you're not training, if all you're doing is treatments, and yet the manager is telling you to start every game with stuff on your mind, So when you think about all these things, I personally think we've put too much pressure, and it's so disgusting. You call yourself a Liverpool fan, and you're typing things, insulting him, talking about threatening to kill him, threatening to take his children, things around that. For goodness sake, if people are making those comments on Lovren's social media, then you're either not Liverpool fans or not Liverpool fans. Maybe it's Evertonians, maybe it's other club supporters that are just making a mockery. But if you're actually a Liverpool fan and you're making threats to his personal life, his personal family, shame on you, man. Shame. Because you're a disgrace. This is football. This is 3 points. This does not affect your life directly. It doesn't remove a strand of hair from you. And yet you are threatening his personal life, his family. This one that is giving 100%, even if it's not good enough, he's not telling the manager, you know what, I can't play today. If the manager says play, he gets on the field and he plays. And most of the time, he doesn't even play that badly. It was just, okay, he's made 1 or 2. Okay, let's say he's made 10 mistakes this season. Okay, yeah, so that's terrible. Is he not human? Can he not make mistakes? And when you go all out on his personal life like that, that's crossing the line, man. That's where I draw the line, If you're upset, it's understandable. Be upset. Say it's useless for 1 day. But then, think about things. Think about the bigger perspective. And just let us be serious, man. Let's be mature. Let's stop insulting players' personal lives just because you are angry that a game, a season of over 100 points, we lost 3 points. Fine. And even if he causes us to lose 10 points, fine. Even if we don't make the Champions League, does that mean that that's the end of Liverpool? There will be next season. And it's up to the manager to take that decision as to whether he wants to use Lovren or not. In my opinion, a normal manager will say, you know what, with all the stress you're going through, dude, stay on the bench. Because you're not ready. Get healed. But he's saying no, play him. And Lovren plays. And then when he makes the mistake, everybody comes on him like a ton of bricks. That's unfair. That's very unfair, man. You're putting fire on the wrong person. The person you should be putting fire on is the manager as to why he's still playing this guy. Give him some time out. And we all said it before the season started, this defense is going to cause a problem. We are all seeing it. Make up with Sako. If you're not able to get Van Dijk, make up with Sako. That's the best defender we've got. And if you cannot get somebody else, and the manager got upset and he said, there's nobody as good as the ones we've got, we're going to make use of them. So now you should be saying, I told you so, to the manager. You shouldn't be blaming Lovren, because Lovren is just a victim of the situation he finds himself. You know? And when Lovren left, as I said in my last video, Matip had to be playing two roles. Watch the game again. Matip was running from left to right, right to left, covering for players, covering. Even when Lovren was there, he was having to cover for Lovren. And some people have the guts to say Matip played rubbish. How could you if you're playing against Harry Kane, Dele Alli, and the Danish guy, Chris Eriksen, all come bombing at you? Do you think it's easy? Especially if your partner is injured. Matip is gone all out, you know. So I personally think people should start having a word with the manager. Can you not change your strategy to play three defenders? Can you not try and use other defenders? Look at the under 23 team, they are performing so brilliantly. Can't you bring somebody up from that? You know, there's so many things, so many other options we've got. You know, so if I think we should just kind of sit back, think through things again, put things in perspective, and please let's stop abusing Lovren. And going for, the question is, how does our insults, how does it help the player? If you're a true fan, think about it. How do you think you're helping the player by insulting and calling him out, saying he's useless and that you're going to attack his family? How does that help the player get better? This is Liverpool. This is not Chelsea. This is not teams where it's all about glory. This is Liverpool. At the end of the day, if the player performs poorly, encourage him. Put a lot of support behind him. This is the reason why players love to play for Liverpool, because they know that when the chips are down, the fans are the 12th man. They get behind you. Where are those 12th men? Where are you, fans? Get behind Lovren. Applaud him. Put pressure on him to play better. Don't insult him. Don't insult his personal life or his family. Encourage him. Encourage Matip. Encourage Gomez. Encourage Trent and Alexander-Arnold. Praise them. Shout. That's what we are doing. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And when they see this, they then go from 100% which they're given to 110. They go that extra mile, and you will then see it. And then they will go and tell other players who are their friends that Liverpool is the best place to be. If you want to play, if you want to really achieve, and you want the fans to get behind you, there's no better club than Liverpool. But if you go around abusing players, abusing their family, talking to each other, saying we'd never want to see Lovren in the shirt wearing the shirt again, how does that encourage the player? How does that improve the team? So let's think about this, guys. Let's think about this, right? So moving forward, I just say let's get Off Lovren'S Back. We've got Huddersfield in the weekend, and come on, Reds, let's go. Let's do this, okay? Thank you very much. It's your boy speaking to you from Milton Keynes, and I will talk to you later. Booyah.